The Mentel traffic team is working for you mornings on Channel 2.
On World News Tonight this Wednesday, the independent counsel Kenneth Starr is about to make the case for the president's impeachment. Violence against women, a new government survey, and just how extensive it is, and how young the women sometimes are. And a lone Russian sailor in danger at sea of losing his arm, or worse, a life saved thanks to email.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. We're going to begin tonight with why tomorrow is so important. Sometime tomorrow morning, the independent counsel Kenneth Starr will pull up a chair in front of the House of Representatives Judiciary Committee and begin to lay out all the evidence which he believes may make President Clinton liable to be impeached by the House of Representatives. We'll start in Washington with Jackie Judd.
Good morning. Good morning.
Kenneth Starr spent a final day preparing for what a friend called one of the most important moments in his life and in the life of his 4-year-long investigation of the president. ABC News has obtained a copy of Starr's testimony. In it, he accuses Mr. Clinton of having repeatedly used the machinery of government and the powers of his office to block the Monica Lewinsky investigation. But Starr goes beyond the Lewinsky case in trying to establish that allegations against Mr. Clinton are part of a long-standing pattern. Starr brings up whitewater targets, including Webb Hubbell, and says payments made to him raise very troubling questions about whether the president, through his aides, sought to ensure Hubbell's silence. Starr also alleges Mr. Clinton made statements intended to encourage Susan McDougal's silence as well. A lawyer close to Starr defends the plan, saying the Lewinsky episode could not be looked at in a vacuum. It has to be put in historical perspective. It also will allow Starr and the Republicans to argue the case against the president involves more than lying about sex. Those familiar with Starr's thinking say he is prepared to defend the credibility of his evidence, but that he will not be an advocate for impeachment and cross that line. There are Democrats who no doubt will argue, Peter, that he long ago crossed that line.
Jackie Judd in Washington. He'll cover those hearings tomorrow. Ken Starr is such a politicized figure now. ABC's Linda Douglas will also cover those hearings and is on Capitol Hill tonight. Just how much of an issue will Kenneth Starr himself be?
Well, if the Democrats have their way, he will be the issue. They are girding for battle. Their lawyers have been prepping them with every bit of negative information that's ever been printed about Ken Starr so they could ask hostile questions like, did he leak grand jury material? Did he slant his report to make the president look bad? Did he deny Monica Lewinsky a lawyer, and so on? The Republicans, though, Peter, are going to be prepared. They're coming in with their own briefing book, which is called Positive Points About Ken Starr.
We thought for a long time that Ken Starr might be the only witness, and now there's some thought on the Hill that there might be more.
Well, tonight the Republicans have announced that there will be 4 others who will be have testimony taken behind closed doors. This will be after tomorrow's hearing. Those 4 are presidential aide Bruce Lindsay, a presidential lawyer, Bob Bennett, and a couple of figures in the case involving Kathy Willey, the woman who said the president groped her in the Oval Office. There will probably be more witnesses to come and maybe more live testimony as well.
Does everybody on Capitol Hill agree tonight that this is going to be an explosive morning?
Everyone does. Each side is trying to tamp down expectations for hand-to-hand combat, but there's even talk that the Democrats might walk out if they get mad enough. The Democrats are talking amongst themselves about that. So, yes, we are expecting explosions.
Thanks very much. Linda Douglas on Capitol Hill tonight. It's historic, however potentially explosive it's be. And we will have live coverage of tomorrow's hearings beginning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. It will be the first time the country can sit down and listen to Ken Starr pretty much uninterrupted for at least, we suspect, a couple of hours. There was some other important political news made on Capitol Hill today. The Republicans have picked their leadership for the House of Representatives. As everybody expected, Bob Livingston from Louisiana was tapped to be the new Speaker. And Dick Armey, there just to his right, was able to hang on to his job as Majority Leader. The big upset of the day was that J.C. Watts from Oklahoma, the only black Republican in the House, was elected to the number 4 post, the Republican Conference Chair. He will help guide the party's message and run the closed meetings where Republicans debate policy. On the money when we come back, how to help struggling countries and protect workers at home.
is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Charles Schwab.
When we were traveling cross country, we stopped at a place. They had the business channel we started watching, and the market was going down, and we said, there are these stocks we wanted to buy, and from the road we called up.
Called Schwab because we didn't have a phone modem in the motorhome, so we couldn't trade online. Where were we?
Utah.
Utah.
We're in Utah.
On a payphone, talking to Schwab,
Trying to get...
buying the stocks. There was a feeling of exhilaration. Hey, we've done it. You've committed to it. Then we got back in the motorhome and traveled on our way.
And those purchases
have done very well.
I had questions about investing, and nobody would answer my questions. And then one day my friend was telling me about stocks and that she wanted to start a stock group. We go to the meetings, we talk about everything, you know, children and parenting and politics, and then we talk about which stocks look good. And I come home and say, okay, let's do this with the girls' money. Let's invest in this stock. This looked the best to me. And we learned about it on Schwab.com, right? So you can go to college.
It hurts so bad. A burning sensation. So I saw my doctor. He said where heartburn hurts most is where Mylanta works fast. All down through here where you want help fast. My doctor said Mylanta.
In Iraq today, the United Nations weapons inspectors eased back to their jobs. A routine inspection day, they said. Iraq's promise to cooperate with the inspectors will likely be tested very shortly. The head of the UN inspection program has sent a letter to the Iraqis asking them to turn over immediately documents and diaries which the UN believes relate to Iraq's chemical weapons program. On the money tonight, the U.S. and Asia. The president is on his way to Japan. He told reporters that nothing is more important to growth in Asia as a whole than getting the Japanese economy healthy again. Vice President Gore and the leaders of 20 other Asian countries have finished their summit meeting in Malaysia. There was a serious debate at this summit about how free and how open the global marketplace should be. The United States has been pushing, as always, for open markets, which is not always politically popular here at home. Witness the international trade in steel. Here's ABC's Betsy Stark.
At the port of New Orleans, the traffic in imported steel is so thick, they're running out of dock space to store it.
We have steel products from Russia, from Brazil, from Malaysia, literally from all over the world.
Japanese steel exports to the U.S. have soared 141% since last year. Korean exports are up 95%. And the steel for sale here is cheap. As many countries overseas have stopped buying, supplies have grown, and more steel has been shipped to the U.S., pushing the cost down from an average of $330 a ton last year to $230 this year.
Isn't the global economy a wonderful thing?
Well, yes, if you're an American manufacturer who makes cars or refrigerators and cheap steel is keeping your costs down. But the global economy is not a wonderful thing if you're an American steel worker. Prices for foreign steel are now so low, even the most efficient American steel companies say they cannot match them and still make a profit. The industry estimates 6,000 steel workers have lost their jobs so far this year, and another 10,000 have been forced to work shorter weeks or take early retirement.
It's not right. It's not up to the American steel worker in this case to bail out the financial crisis in Russia or in Japan or in Korea.
For the U.S. government, it's a dilemma. On the one hand, the Clinton administration is encouraging Asian countries to export their way back to economic health. On the other, it's being asked to protect the American steel industry by taxing imported steel to make it cost more. Other American industries hurt by the surge in foreign imports will be watching closely. Steel is just the first of several trade conflicts expected to come. Betsy Stark, ABC News.
The overall import-export figures for September were released today. The U.S. imported $14 billion more in products than it sold to other countries. On Wall Street today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was up more than 54 points to close at 90.41. On the NASDAQ, stocks gained just under 19 points. Some other items on the money. Mexico is now the U.S.'s second largest trading partner, at least for the month of September. For many years, it was Japan. Canada is still number one. Which state has the lowest unemployment rate in the country? Nebraska, 2.1%. Virtually everyone has a job, and some of the brightest minds are leaving. And so the state is advertising. On the web it says, there is still a place with room to roam, and you don't have to wait in line. And speaking of employment, Marine Midland Bank is giving 8,700 employees $300 each to buy, quote, professional clothes. Apparently there has been too much dressing down among recent college graduates. It's the image thing. Coming up, laser pointers. Very dangerous.
I'll see you.
Hi, Min. Me too.
Me too.
Ah, the credit card game. We've all played it.
I'll go 5.9%.
That an intro rate?
Yeah.
First, you get a great introductory rate, but then it goes up.
So you'll raise us to 17.9% in 6 months? Yeah.
But now, if you have good credit, you can win the credit card game.
Let's make it interesting.
I'm out.
I'm out.
Too rich for my blood.
I'll call.
With the 9.9% fixed rate Visa Platinum card from Capital One.
That's a great hand.
It's not an introductory rate, and with no annual fee, all the perks of Platinum, and a low fixed rate, you may never have to switch cards again. Act now. Call 1-800-CAPITAL and start saving hundreds, even thousands of dollars a year. Call 1-800-CAPITAL. Apply today for the 9.9% fixed rate Visa Platinum from Capital One. In the credit card game, it's the winning card.
Chevy Tahoe, like a rock.
People everywhere are dialing 10-10-321 to save money every day. Now, every time you use 10-10-321, you also have a chance to win $10,000. Every 10-10-321 call is an automatic entry to win $10,000 with a winner each day. So dial 10-10-321 today. It's easy. You'll save up to 50% on your phone bill and get a chance to win $10,000. The more calls you make, the more you can save, and the more chances you have to win. 10-10-321, offering big savings and now giving away $10,000 a day.
Major story from Montana today. A federal jury in Billings, Montana, has found the leaders of the militant anti-government Montana Freemen guilty on charges of bank and mail fraud. The jury returned the verdict after only 2 days of deliberation. The Freemen, you may recall, were involved in an 81-day standoff with the FBI before they surrendered in 1996. There is growing concern tonight in many parts of the country about the misuse of a very small device called the laser pointer. Puts out a very intense beam of light, in some cases from a great distance away. Earlier this month, we reported that someone aimed these small lasers from the ground at 2 American pilots flying over Bosnia and blinded them temporarily. The beam can also be confused with the beam from the scope of some guns, and they are getting more popular with children. Here's ABC's James Walker.
Laser pointers are the current rage among teenagers.
They like point them at like people to make people laugh and stuff. It's kind of a prank.
As prices for laser pointers have fallen from $300 to $8, youngsters are flashing them everywhere. At concert halls, in classrooms, pointing the lasers at teachers. Some school districts have banned them.
We basically ban anything that's disruptive to the educational process.
The Food and Drug Administration warns that lasers are more than a nuisance. Alfred Ripa was driving his bus in New Jersey when a laser beam was pointed at his eyes.
And I just lost control of the bus. And when, by the time I could look up, here was a telephone pole coming right towards me.
And police officers are worried, too, because many handguns are equipped with laser sighting devices. The problem is that the laser beam emitted by a laser pointer or by a pistol are similar. The laser pointer, the pistol. So police officers know that they're being targeted, but they don't know whether it's a prank or a threat. It was scary. Officer Stanley Zajac and 2 other officers were on night patrol in Meriden, Connecticut when teenagers pointed lasers at them.
I had a split second to try and figure out what it was. We ended up drawing down on 3 turned out to be juveniles. We didn't know that at the time.
Something for every teenager who plays with a laser to think about. James Walker, ABC News, Meriden, Connecticut.
In South Africa tonight, there's a Russian sailor with a remarkable tale of survival to tell. He had set out from Charleston, South Carolina 2 months ago to race single-handed around the world. His first port of call was Cape Town. But in the South Atlantic, he was in desperate trouble. ABC's Bill Redeker has the rest of the story.
He was all alone at sea, 400 miles from land, and Viktor Yazikov was in trouble.
It was very bad situation.
Yazikov had badly injured his right elbow. It was a life-threatening infection. He needed a doctor. But where and how? Using a solar-powered computer, he sent an email message to the official doctor for the race. 7,000 miles away in Boston, Dr. Daniel Carlin typed back.
I prescribed surgery. The tricky part was I had to make the surgical procedure very simple.
So he emailed Yazikov step-by-step instructions, how to cut and drain the infection. But after performing surgery on himself and applying a tourniquet, Yazikov couldn't get the bleeding to stop.
The strong smell of blood was so horrible.
So he sent a more urgent email. Have been sitting on the bloody cabin floor, watching my life drop by drop leaving me.
My first instructions to him, once this became clear, is immediately cut the tourniquet.
And he wrote, apply direct pressure to the wound. Finally, the bleeding stopped.
It was life-saving for Victor.
He did just perfect job.
The next day, after sending this email note of thanks, Yazikov discovered he had also sailed 239 miles, the best one-day run of the race so far. Bill Redeker, ABC News, New York.
A researcher at the University of California, Los Angeles, has identified a small fragment of rock recovered from the floor of the Pacific Ocean that he says will explain how the dinosaurs disappeared. Researcher says it's the first known piece of a giant asteroid that slammed into the Earth 65,000 years ago and wiped the dinosaurs out. When we come back, violence and very young women.
The AIM Investor Pop Quiz. College may cost over $100,000. You should gamble on a hot stock tip, put everything in a savings account, smile and heat up a bottle. Peace of mind comes from investing with discipline. AIM Mutual Funds.
Has frequent heartburn been a persistent problem for you? Have you treated it but still suffer on 2 or more days a week? Do you keep getting heartburn even though you've changed your diet? Your heartburn may be due to acid reflux disease. Ask your doctor about Prilosec. 1 capsule daily can provide complete 24-hour heartburn relief because it controls acid for 24 hours. 24 hours. Ask your doctor if Prilosec is right for you. Call to learn more. The most common side effects are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Want 24-hour heartburn relief with 1 daily dose? Ask your doctor about the most prescribed acid control medicine in America, Prilosec.
Why did the duck cross the road? Well, as I soon found out, it was to get her 9 babies that were stuck in the storm drain. I made a couple phone calls, but... I don't know what kind of ducks they are. They're quacking ducks. Ducks, not dogs. Nobody was willing to help out. No, you can't. And then I had an idea. I went down the street to the Home Depot. Not only did they provide all the rescue tools, but they also provided Dan and Karen to help me.
So I think we got everything.
Oh, you see the 9 little ducks? It took some time and a little ingenuity, but we were able to put together a little rescue net. You want to get ducks out of a sticky situation? Try duct tape. Did I say that? The contraption we made wasn't pretty, but it worked. Going up, 1 by 1, we lifted those 9 babies to safety. They were all like, "Hi, Mom." We felt so good. Thank you, Home Depot. You can chalk up 1 more big fan of your store. Actually, make that 11 more.
The AIM Investor Pop Quiz. The road to retirement should be paved with lottery tickets, pork belly futures, lots of vacations. Have peace of mind. Call your financial consultant about AIM Mutual Funds.
Yes, I know the dinosaurs were here 65 million years ago, not 65,000. It just seems like yesterday. Now, we're going to take a closer look at violence tonight, and there is nothing amusing about that, with a particular focus on violence against women. The government has released a new study on the subject, having interviewed 8,000 women and 8,000 men. It found that 18% of women have been raped or the victim of attempted rape at some point in their lives. It's a very sobering look at what too many women face in their lifetime. Here's ABC's Aaron Brown.
The numbers will not surprise the millions of women who are the victims of violence. It is happening everywhere.
There's no pocket of people who are safe and can say this does not happen in our community or with my people or in my economic stratus. We can't say that anymore.
What the survey does say is that nearly 1 in 5 women has been raped or has been the victim of an attempted rape in their lifetime. That in the 12 months prior to the survey, there were 876,000 rapes, that's 2,400 a day, and only about 1 in 9 was reported to police. And according to the survey, more than half the rapes occurred before the woman reached 18 and were overwhelmingly committed by someone she knew.
It's not the boogeyman we need to be afraid of. It's not the dirty old man, but it's people who are their peers, people that they know, people that their parents probably trust, who really are the danger.
But the study didn't deal with just rape. For example, it found that more than half of all women and 2/3 of all men had been the victims of a physical assault at some point in their lives. And if that number seems especially high, it is because the definition of assault used was quite broad. It included everything from a slap at one end to gun violence at the other. But by any measure, the report shows a nation where violence is frighteningly common and its costs, from prison cells for the convicted to social services for the victims, is extremely high. Aaron Brown, ABC News, New York.
There's a lot of ground covered in this survey. We talked a short while ago to Mark Rosenberg, the director of the National Center for Injury Prevention and Control. You described and defined a pretty wide range of violence done to women. Why such a wide range, all the way from a slap to rape?
One of the problems in asking women about violence that's done to them is how you ask the question. It's been found if you start with an easier question to answer, have you ever been pushed, have you ever been slapped, and then work your way up to more severe forms of attack, have you ever been hit with an object, have you ever been beaten up, have you ever been shot at, you can get better answers to the tough questions. It turns out that most of the assailants of the women we spoke to are intimate partners, their spouses or ex-spouses or very close friends who assail them.
Was there anything in this report that surprised you?
I think what surprised me was the young age of the victims, that violence against women is very much a problem of violence against our young girls, against our young children. 54% of all the women who've been raped in their lifetime were raped before they were 18 years old, and 22% were raped before they were 12 years old. This means that we're failing to protect our children and that our children are being robbed of the right to a good life. That was a surprise.
Thank you for your time. The Violence Report today. When we come back, we're going to take another look at the millennium, and you might want to have your dictionary handy.
When they said the world didn't need another nose strip, we said, oh yeah? How about making one that's contoured for a good fit, giving it a centering bump so you know where to place it, and using a skin-friendly adhesive? Introducing Clear Passage, an ergonomically advanced nose strip designed to relieve the symptoms of nasal congestion. Oh, and one last thing. How about having it made by the maker of Afrin Nasal Spray, the people who know more about the nose than anyone? New Clear Passage. We know noses.
Lately, we at Lockheed Martin have been lucky enough to work on some very exciting projects. Like the most advanced automated fingerprint identification system in the world. Oh, and let's not forget the missions to Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn.
What you eating, little brother? Chicken and stars. There's a better tasting soup. Progresso chicken noodle, all white meat chicken, bigger veggies. See the difference?
Good stuff.
Told ya. Nice shirt.
Discover the better taste of Progresso.
If you have arthritis pain that lasts all day, presenting Tylenol Arthritis Extended Relief. It's the only pain reliever that lasts up to 8 hours, with the medicine arthritis experts recommend first.
On 2020 tonight, a trip you've never taken, a world you've never seen, grim and brutal.
Do you think it's strange that you don't feel sorry?
No. Go with Diane Sawyer, Kids Behind Bars, on 2020 tonight.
Hi, I'm Steve Dunn. News of the Northwest is next. A small town gathers to comfort the family of a young babysitter who disappeared weeks ago. Plus, DEQ tells drivers without gas caps to get the lead out. Next at 6:30.
Just a brief review of our top story. The independent counsel Kenneth Starr is going to testify before the House Judiciary Committee tomorrow. There's no doubt this evening that the Democrats want to make him the issue, and the Republicans said late today that they want to call other witnesses, including the president's friend and aide, Bruce Lindsay, and the president's lawyer, Robert Bennett. Finally, we're going to continue tonight with our preview of previews of the millennium. Remember that woman last night from an advertising agency who said all the millennium products are going to be greeted with a real yawn? ABC's Robert Krulwich picks up where she left off.
Okay, now I want each of you, please, starting from... Businesses now are in such a rush to bring products to market that say millennium on them, we decided to have a little quiz. In New York City, we handed out...
Looks like a hairbrush to me.
bottle of vitamins. I have a box that I'm not sure what's inside.
I have what appears to be like a flag.
Now, I should tell you that each of these items has something wrong with it, and in every case, it's the same thing. We've counted this mistake on 150 other items of a like kind. The question for you is, what is wrong with the thing you have? That's the question.
All right. Anybody finds it first, give us the hint to the rest of us.
The only thing I see that's wrong with them is that millennium is spelled incorrectly. It's spelled with only one N.
How do you spell millennium? Nah, that might be the key. The spelling of millennium, is that what it is?
That's it.
What is it all?
Can we have a hint?
Another E.
I-E-U-M.
I-E-U-M.
That is wrong.
No, that's what everybody says. I-U-M.
That is wrong.
L-L-E-E? No, it's not that.
Not that anyone will notice, apparently.
I-E.
But as the millennium gets closer, we think as a public service, we should spell it once correctly. So.
M-I-E-L-L.
No one has been able to figure this out.
That's 2 L's, 2 M's.
They should know how to spell it correctly.
They certainly should.
Is it E-E-U-M instead of I? Is that what it is?
Robert Krulwich, ABC News.
Or is it one L?
No.
No, it's not one L.
No.
2 L's, 2 N's. That's our report on World News Tonight. Don't forget our coverage tomorrow of Kenneth Starr's testimony before the House Judiciary Committee, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. It'll be quite a moment. I'm Peter Jennings, 2 N's. Hope we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Tomorrow, fly from New York to L.A. in 30 minutes. Hypersoar, the future of air travel. Get on board. Watch ABC's World News Tonight with Peter